Hi, and welcome to KSB Restorations. Today I'm going to go through the process of cleaning a trumpet, and this method can be used really for any kind of brass instrument. There are multiple ways that you can clean a brass instrument. Today I'm going to go through kind of a simpler process of using something like dish soap and water. And this method really should be done every couple of months or so if you play a lot. Uh, I've even seen recommendations as often as monthly um, to do this type of cleaning. There are other types of cleaning methods that can be done on brass instruments. There are deeper chemical cleans that can be done. These you might have to go to a professional shop to have that done. I will have some videos talking about that, but I won't be discussing that today or going through that process. Um, so today I'm going to start by taking apart the instrument and then talking about what pieces can go in the bath and what pieces have to remain out. And then we'll go through the cleaning process. I'll put the instrument back together, and then we'll apply some grease and oil to get it back up and ready into playing condition. So now I'm going to take apart the instrument and separate the components out that I don't want to put into the bath. So first I put down some clean paper towels, and you can use like a cloth towel, that's fine. Just be aware that maybe some oil or grease could get on it, and just avoid placing the instrument on any direct hard surface to prevent any potential damage. So I'm going to start by taking the valves apart. I tend not to put the felt pieces into the bath, of course, because that will just absorb water and it's difficult to dry. You could also use it as an opportunity to replace the felt rings if they're worn, or um, in this case, mine are still in good condition, so I'm not going to do that. The spring, I also tend to avoid putting directly in the bath, just because I don't want to risk, any corrosion or anything from the water. Um, I've heard that advice before. It also kind of depends on the type of bath that you're doing. In this case, since I'm just doing a bath with dish soap, the components are unlikely to really be, that harmed by that. And given the short amount of time, it's really going to be in the bath. If you're doing more of a chemical bath and more of a deep cleaning, then I would definitely avoid placing all of those parts in. Okay, and those are the valves. So now I'm going to take the slides off. This is why you want to make sure you maintain your instrument, clean it regularly, make sure it's well oiled, because then you get issues like this where it doesn't want to come out. I do feel it kind of working its way out. So there we go. If you want, you can remove the water keys. They are kind of challenging to put back together, especially these kind with the springs. There's really no need to take it off for this type of cleaning. But if you're going to do more of a deep chemical cleaning, it might be wise to do that, because these you don't want to corrode these kinds of springs. But otherwise, that's really it. Everything's been taken apart, and it's ready to go into the bath. Oh, sorry, no, I got these bottom screw caps here, which can come off. Looks like I had a little bit of residual condensation build up in there. There we go. Now it's ready for the bath. Okay, so I have a 10-gallon bucket here. I'm just going to add a few squirts of dish soap. Don't really need a lot. Then I'm going to add about 5 gallons or so of, I have lukewarm water here. Want enough to be able to submerge the instrument. You definitely don't want the water to be too hot. And we got it nice and sudsy. Now we can add the instrument. I rock it around just a little bit just to make sure that all of the interior part of the trumpet is filled up. And the smaller components, I just put into a little bucket here. Since there are a lot of small pieces there, they'll be easier to find if I just keep them all in the bucket like this. I drilled a couple holes at the bottom so that it can fill up fairly easily and it's easy to empty afterwards. So just go like that. And I can let that sit now for about 10 to 15 minutes or so, just to let the soap kind of work its way in there and break down any material that has built up on the interior of the trumpet and on the parts. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. And in the meantime, I've filled up another bucket here with some fresh water. And I'm going to transfer all the components of the trumpet into here to rinse everything off and then go through and clean it out with some nylon brushes. So I'm going to start by transferring the trumpet to the clean water. Okay. I have a set of nylon brushes here, which we can use to clean out the valves, the slides, and the valve casings. And I also have a snake here with nylon brushes at the end that can go through some of the longer pieces of the tubing. So now I'm going to go through and start cleaning out all the parts of the trumpet. And I just kind of go in and out a few times. Sometimes you can see some particulates coming out. A little bit came out there, but it's not too bad. Okay, and now that once the interior of the trumpet has been cleaned out effectively, now we can dry it off and put it back together. So now we're ready to put the trumpet back together. For the main tuning slide and for the second valve slide, I am going to use some tuning slide lubricant. For the first and third valve slides, I am going to use actually a trombone slide cream because those ones I like to be able to move more freely, and I move them while I play. Also, what I like to do when I'm putting the valve caps back on, and I'll do it for the top ones as well, I take a little bit of the slide cream here. I just kind of put it right on the threads. And this kind of prevents it from getting stuck in the future. Um, if you do a cleaning fairly routinely, you probably won't have issues with these getting stuck on there. If you apply a little bit of the cream onto the threads, but if you let it sit for long periods of time without doing that, then you still might have some issues. I like to screw it on and off a few times just to work it in there. All right, now I will reassemble the slides. And so when you're inserting this plastic piece, you can see that there are two ends. One's a little bit larger than the other. And if you look on the valve itself, you can see one side, this side here is a little bit wider than this side. So you want to insert it in on the wider side there, then insert the thinner end of the plastic piece first. And once it's in, you can rotate it down and it will just drop in place. Insert the spring. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Take a little bit of that slide cream, put it right on there. Same thing where I'll screw it on and off a few times just to get the cream worked in there pretty good. Find the threads again. Oh, need the felt ring and the top valve cap. And the valve cap button. And there's the assembled valve. And I'll do the same thing with the others. All right, and now I'm going to do the same thing I did for the bottom valve caps. Place a little bit of slide cream here. I just want to be careful to not get it on the inside, because that would just, if that gets onto the valves itself, it will kind of add a little bit of resistance. You really just want only valve oil getting in there to get you the good resistance for the valves. And I will add the oil after, but for now I'm just going to insert these. All right, valves move pretty good even before adding the oil. So I have some valve oil here. Everyone has their own preferred brand of valve oil. I think the Roche Thomas is pretty good. And there we go. So now we've cleaned and reassembled the instrument, so it's essentially ready to play again. But I am going to give it one final touch and apply a little bit of silver polish to kind of brighten it up and make it look good while we are playing. Okay, so now I'm going to give the trumpet a quick polish. So I have silver polish that you can just pick up from your local hardware store. I have basically just an old piece of a t-shirt. You can use something like cheesecloth as well, works pretty good. Just pour a little bit onto there. That concludes the process for cleaning your instruments. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please like and subscribe. Thank you, and please join me for more videos from KSB Restorations.